Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. Today, we're talking about staying healthy with a partner. It could be a significant other, a spouse, a friend, a family member. I know a lot of people, when they're first starting their journey towards health, they do start with someone, which I think is a great thing because it can help keep you accountable, maybe motivate you. But then the downside is that if that person's not on the same plan as you, or if eventually they kind of slack off and they're not really into it anymore, then it leaves you to make the decision for yourself. So I get this question a lot. A lot of people will ask me what to do. They're trying to lose weight or they're trying to get fit, but their boyfriend or girlfriend just isn't on the same plan. And it's really difficult going out to eat. It's really difficult preparing meals at home. And they're kind of just like, I don't know what to do. So like anything, this is going to be different per person, but these tips and guidelines I hope can help you to just get an understanding of what you can do going forward. So always in the beginning, you want to set the tone and communicate with your partner that this is what you want to do and this is what you're going to do. Something that really helps me is because I'm so clear and motivated, and I kind of had I have the decision made for myself that this is how I eat and this is when I exercise, that it's hard for someone to kind of stray me away from that because it's an important value to me. But when you go into a situation unclear and you don't communicate what you actually want, you're going to be easily swayed to kind of go the other way. So it's important to be on the same page with someone, but if you're not, coming up with tips to still keep yourself accountable and stay on that plan yourself. So communication is number one. Number two is following through with that. So if you are on the same plan as somebody else, then that's a really great thing. You can go grocery shopping together. You can exchange ideas with one another. You can actually prepare food together. Kind of really just kind of throw ideas of recipes back and forth to one another. And obviously it becomes much easier when you're on this same plan as somebody else. But then there's the times where that person goes off track and now you're left to stay accountable for yourself. So what do you do? All right. So my tip for you is to do the best that you can in that situation. So, and here's an example. You decide to go to the gym together at 2:00. 2:00 comes around and that person decides, I don't feel like it. I'm not going to go to the gym. So you can then 1, not go yourself, 2, go without that person, or 3, motivate that person to go with you. So obviously I'm going to encourage you to choose one of the later two. You're not going to not go based off somebody else, because if we always decided to follow what other people wanted us to do or changed our decisions based off of other people's expectations or other people's decisions, then we'd get nowhere in life, right? So what you really want to do is be clear about when you're going to the gym and how you're going to navigate yourself to get there. So being clear about it is going to help you actually get there. Now you get to the gym, you feel really good, and now this person maybe isn't really happy that you didn't decide to kick it back and watch a Netflix TV show with them, right? So now you're going to learn that dealing with the emotions is a completely other component to this plan of going on a healthy track with someone, because usually one person's all for it and the other person falls off track at one point. So going into it with the expectation that there's going to be some friction, someone's not going to have the same views as you. That is really what you want to expect. And don't take it personally either, because a lot of the times it really has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the other person's decision to go on that journey or not. And you can't be worrying about other people when trying to change your own life and your own health goals. All right, so now it comes to the kitchen. You're preparing your meals. One person wants to eat all of the fried food, all of the bad things, and order out pizza, doesn't even want to cook. And the other person's like, no, I'm ready to do this. I'm going to cook my healthy food. We're going to have a healthy dish. So on a regular basis, then the goal would be to eat and cook the food from home and create that balanced meal plan that I've talked about 1,000 times before with that plate method: half of the plate non-starchy vegetables, a lean piece of protein, a complex high fiber carbohydrate. That would obviously be the ultimate thing you'd want to accomplish and achieve on a regular basis. Now, if it's once in a blue moon that you decide to kind of order in and kind of go off the meal plan, obviously that's fine. And it could be a way to, still maybe spend time with your significant other or your friend. But if that is something that's happening on a regular basis, then we need to kind of slow down a little bit. And once again, communicate with that person that this is not going to help you get to your goals. And if you value your health and you're clear about how much you value your health, then that person's going to be understanding of that. But if you're inconsistent and constantly not really sure of your plan, and sometimes you're okay with ordering the food out, sometimes you're not, and you don't really make it obvious that this is something you're serious about, then that other person's probably not going to take you seriously. So really being consistent and kind of like firm, and this is my decision. You can order out if you'd like to. You can get what you want. Maybe you'll have like a half a slice of pizza, or maybe you'll have a little bit of the fried rice from the Chinese food, whatever it is, then, that's okay. But really sticking with your plan on a regular basis is really going to actually set the tone. And then people will finally get on board. It's like, okay, so if I want to eat healthy, I can join this person. So it now went from you kind of not really sure what you wanted to finally understanding what you want. And now this person who used to not want to be with you on your journey is really ready to kind of join you on your journey. Okay. So I can kind of relate to this because I actually grew up in a family where food was the big focus, and I didn't really always eat the healthiest. My family really cooked. They always had like vegetables present, but to be honest, I think that's because I ended up kind of asking my mom at a very young age, when I started deciding to change my eating habits, to prepare vegetables. She would always ask me, what do you want for dinner? And the answer was always like, I don't care, just make sure there's vegetables there. It went from being with a family, my parents, who would just easily after basketball practice just bring me through like McDonald's or KFC or all of the different like fast food restaurants, to them being to me speaking up and saying, I rather not order from there. And if I do, then yes, I'm going to get a small fry instead of a large fry. And like, once again, you're just finding ways to modify the plan when you're with other people who are going to influence you. So there's definitely a lot of different tactics of like navigating through a menu, choosing better options when dining out. But for the purpose of this podcast, I really I think that the main point I'm trying to get across to you is being consistent and communicating and letting your family know, your spouse know, your partner know that this is my way of eating, and expect that you might get some judgment. You might get some temptations to kind of stray away from your goals. And regardless of how you react to that, if you are committed to your goal and you get right back on track, you'll learn different ways to handle those situations each and every time, and you'll get better at it and gain that confidence to be able to consistently stay true to what your goals are. Okay, so that's pretty much a very quick way of explaining how to stay on track with your personal health goals with or without somebody else. But there will always be people there who are going to influence you in either a positive way, a negative way, or just a way that you didn't even expect. So I think that the big takeaway is surround yourself with people who support you, who motivate you. And if you happen to end up in a situation where it's the opposite, just do the best you can in that situation and really try to, a majority of the time, be with those people who understand you. And if you're serious about your goal, then they'll be serious about it with you. All right. So thank you for listening. Once again, you're listening to the Tips with Tony podcast. If you want any other information, if you have some questions, or you want to suggest an episode that I do, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook at Tips with Tony, or you can email me at tipswithtony@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. Once again, this is Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.